Radio.
Let's be honest, wheelchairs are heavy, bulky, and ugly. If you carry a wheelchair in your car to take care of a loved one, you know how hard it is getting that clunky, old-style wheelchair in and out of your car. Introducing the Feather Chair Wheelchair. At 13 pounds, it's the world's lightest wheelchair. It folds in seconds and fits neatly in your trunk, backseat, or closet, so you can take it everywhere. And it's only available right here. Order yours today and get a free wheelchair case, a $50 value, yours free. The Feather Chair. The world's lightest wheelchair is just $4.99 with easy payments as low as $16 a month. Sorry, no Medicare or insurance accepted. So call right now to order yours.
800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. 800-823-5826. That's 800-823-5826.
Wilfred Brimley for Loafing Dog.
I'm Wilfred Brimley for Loafing Dog. You know, when I get the hankering for a hot dog, I go to Cleveland, Texas. Just a couple blocks off the square, they got Loafing Dog. They got the Neely Dog, the Mary Sunshine Dog, the Casey Dog, and the Shirley Dog. Why, they even got the Pacer Dog, the Brooklyn Dog, and the Jim Dog. Can't forget the Shane Dog, or the Joy Dog, and the Monty Dog. I like that fool. The Nakia Dog and the Braxton Dog round things off. Why, they even got a kids menu too.
Loafing Dog, 208 East Chambers Street, Cleveland, Texas. Lunch, catering, or takeout, plus outdoor seating. Phone number is 817-556-1040.
This is Wilford Brimley. And don't forget, Loafing Dog won't give you diabetes.
Out of deck carpet giving you the blues? Tired of your old dingy and broken tile? Let my friends at the Floor Store in Cleveland, Texas give your home the makeover it deserves. This is Old Taco Joe coming to you for the Floor Store. Whether it's carpet, tile, wood flooring, or real wood laminate, the Floor Store can cover all of your flooring needs. Located at 405 West Henderson Street in Cleveland, Texas, owner Brent Harris can help. Shower tile, tub surrounds, even backsplashes. Give them a call today at 817-641-9444. The Floor Store, they got you covered.
If you're trying to quit drinking or doing too many drugs, listen to me. You don't know me and we'll never meet. I had a problem like you once. I drank and used to party a little too much till it got out of control and almost ruined my life. I realized I needed help to fix my problem before it totally destroyed me. If you've tried to fix your drinking and drug problem and you know you can't do it alone, you need to call the National Treatment Advisors. They'll immerse you into a 30-day program to replace your old habits with new habits and totally change your life. And if you have PPO private health insurance, the entire program may be covered. Fix your problem right now before it gets any worse. Get clean. Call now and learn more. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581. 877-247-1581.
When you're hungry for tender brisket or some delicious homemade cobbler, then look no further than Leach Brothers Barbecue, located at 1106 East Henderson in Cleveland, Texas. Leach Brothers has been family-owned and operated since 1950. Take it from me, Taco Joe Orwinski. Todd and his family have been filling my belly breakfast, lunch, and dinner for a long time. Heck, I even have my own booth, open Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come see them for dine-in, carry-out, and all your catering needs.
The voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Gentlemen, it's playoff time. I'm telling you, I was excited about this show, and I'm gonna have you guys introduce yourself. And for all you guys, you know the drill. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see this screen, but we have got people already jumping on. For you guys that are new, we have a little drill here. If you are watching us live, you're dropping an L. If you watch it on a replay a little bit later, drop an R. That way we know all the comments is recorded. For all you guys that are jumping on, thank you guys for being a part. Welcome to After the Whistle, and this is our first playoff edition show. There you go. We've got several playoff editions that we're going to go through over the next couple of weeks, but a lot of important stuff to go through here. And I mean, I am seeing Joseph Carpenter, Misty, Latoya, LaShawn, Chris, Trevor, man, there are people just dropping L's left and right on here. So welcome. Make sure you give a shout out. Chris already given a shout out to Kennedale 8U Wildcats, number 88, Justin, and the 12U Wildcats, number 9, Jameson. Guys, parents, let us know. Coaches, if you're listening, what your kids did this last week. Drop some shout outs out there. Man, we want to know what was happening in the games. We had a lot of close games. We'll go over Mike's locks once again. Pretty good. Yep. You know, if people were betting real money on this, I think I made a lot of people money this year in football. Nobody's doing that, of course. Okay, nobody. Amy, one of our followers here says, let's go SYA 5U Dusky Cowboys, SYA 7U Gators. Man, shout out to the ROYFA Hawks. Dude, this is awesome. Just awesome. I love football, man. I just love football. So we can just get the show rolling and jump right into it. I'm going to start to my right. We'll work our way around. Introduce yourself. Tell us who you are in your organization, what your organization is, and let's get this party started.
Hello. This is Coach P. I'm the athletic director for Red Oak Hawks Youth Football Association.
What age do you coach?
I coach the 9U.
9U team?
And I'm Coach BJ Young. Everybody know me out there. I'm the president of Red Oak Youth Football, and I coach the 6U flag team, the Maroon team. We got 2 teams, and I coach the 8U team.
Love it. I do have to say something about Red Oak. So we played out there, was it about 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 3 weeks
give
ago.
Give or take.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the nicest fields.
Oh, yeah.
I kept telling people, I said, man, if we could get our grass to look this good here, I don't know, like if it's at the school that takes care of it, or do you guys take care of it?
It's actually the city.
The city
they
does.
partnered with a guy that did the same guy that did the Texas Rangers grass. He came out.
No wonder we can't afford it out here.
Yeah, they did a good job.
You know, it's all of us. I'm sure you guys the same way volunteer stuff, but unless you can find a partnership like that, and I mean, we love our elk field here in Burleson, and it's our property. We own it. That's like good. We don't pay nobody for it. Right. So that's a good thing. But man, I think our total football field play area and stands and all that's like 3.5, 4 acres. Keeping that in a playable, because right now we're watering it every day, but it's getting cold, so it's starting to dry out. The grass is starting to go away. Trying to keep it in that nice playable where it's not, you know, a step above concrete.
Exactly.
It gets a little difficult right now. We could call that some home field advantage a little bit, but you know, because we practice out there on it too. And that's the other thing, when you have 150 kids, and this week's our homecoming. Shout out to all the Burleson Oaks getting ready for their homecoming this week. Cheerleaders are out there working hard the other night in the middle of the field, but when you get 150 plus kids on that grass 5 times a week, I mean, it's really hard to keep it maintained. But we got the Red Oak Hawks in the house. Let me ask you guys some questions. We got a lot of football talk, but I definitely want to go through Red Oak. And for all you guys that are waiting, don't worry. We'll get to Mike's locks, and y'all can tell me how I was wrong, but yet right again. We'll get to all that stuff. I do have to shout out 2 upsets. Number 1, RYA. RYA is on me, right? See, RYA loves me when I pick them to win, but when I pick them to lose, I mean, it's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys. They either love them or they hate them, right? It's one of those things. But they were an upset this week. I picked them to lose, and they actually beat Ferris 20-12.
Okay.
And then Garrick. Guess who they beat, though? RYA. So I picked RYA to win 1 game and lose 1 game, and I was right on that. I just had them wrong. But 5U Garrick, both of those, had those. So I want to make sure I shout those guys out. But
there you go.
Talk a little bit about Red. How many kids are in the organization this year? Rough estimate. I know you may not have the number right off the top of your head.
Right. We actually grown. We got 300 plus kids.
Wow.
Yeah, 300 plus kids, about 100 cheerleaders. So we have actually grown this thing of. I've been president for 2 years.
Okay.
The first year I was football director, equipment manager, and that was one of our goals was to get the league growing. You know, we went from 3 teams. Now we have 7, 9, I think, don't we? Yeah. So we got 9 teams. So I'm looking to grow the organization here in the next couple of years.
So what are some of the steps? Because I know, I think it was Castleberry a couple of weeks that we're on. They're talked about they're in a regrowing phase right now, right?
Yeah.
And obviously they're doing some good work out there. But what are some of the things? Was it the schools that you got connected in? Did you just pass out flyers? I mean, what was it?
Yeah.
Set out some signs,
Yeah,
a lot of word of mouth from previous players.
Okay.
Yeah, coaches. And then number one, you got to have somebody running that thing. Shout out to Mr. Young.
Okay.
Our organization and association would not run the way it is if it weren't for her. So
I see her name a lot.
Oh yeah,
I see her name. I don't know that I've officially ever met her, but shout out to Misty. I know there's a lot of people behind a lot of scenes of these organizations, but as far as that goes, so just flyers and schools and things of that nature, just to kind of prop those numbers up and word of mouth. What are some future plans? Like you talk about wanting to grow. I mean, do you have a number in mind of kids that you want to get to?
Well, I mean, a lot of Red Oak is growing by the hundreds. I mean, houses are being built, apartments, townhouses being built. So we know that they're coming. So, I mean, just working with we partnered with the ISD. So working with them, we look to use their football facilities next year.
Okay.
So we're in talks. We already using their practice facility. That's one of the things that Coach Holmes, he wanted to see our youth come up and go into that organization with them, partner up with them. So we'll be pretty much running their offense by the time they get ready for middle school. They already know what to work on and what to do.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. RYA's already telling me they went 3-3 this week, so 500 they'll take it as an organization.
There you go,
I
Eric.
can always count on it. That's Eric that said it.
Eric,
I can always count on Eric to make sure that we know where RYA. I honestly can't wait to have them in here. We actually played them the last week of the season. Heard a lot of great things about those guys out there.
Cool.
As far as that goes. Well, obviously in a growth phase. Let me ask you, how many board members do you guys have? Is it board members, or do you have like commissioners? How are you structured and set up?
We got about between 12 and 15 board members. We got a lot of new board members coming in. This P's first year being my football director, doing a good job. A lot of board members working tirelessly. It's hard work. Trying to get that football thing going.
So I'm a board member in Burleson, and we talk about this. A lot of people, I think the parents understand the work sometimes I don't, right? Because I don't know about you guys, but like for us to set up our field, we're there an hour and a half before game starts, making sure concessions are up and ready to go. And then of course when the field closes, you got all the trash and all that type of stuff. You got to make sure the money's counted and balanced, the referees are paid, and that's that's a full-time job in and of itself during the football season. I can tell you, football wise, I tell people every year. So in my family, we do every single year, we do a Disney trip for Christmas. That's been our thing for, I don't know how long. So we pack up and go to Disney on Christmas Day. And that's where we spend about 10 days. Right. But I tell people all the time, come July 15th, my year's over. Like it's over.
Yeah,
like we're done. Like you start with the getting the kids, they're already registered, but you start the sizing and the weigh-ins and the certification and the camps, and then you get into the practices. And now it seems like football's starting even earlier because you've got I had obviously you guys may or may not know, but I own a uniform company. We started getting blown up about 9-on-9 and 7-on-7 uniforms already.
Exactly.
And that starts in February or March, right? So, and that kind of brings me, we were talking about it a little bit. And guys, this is a playoff show. We're going to talk about the playoffs, but there's some things that wanted to talk to, especially having two coaches here. You guys have been to football. Where do y'all feel like football's at in general? And let me, for our audience, to kind of bring you behind the scenes. Coaches I here were talking before the show started, just chit-chatting. Cody Barber says, next week, be ready for us, Mike. Man, I am always ready. I am always ready. Demondre Johnson, Kennedale went 7-0 as an organization. Let's go. That's a great week. Eric says, Eric Anthony says, must-see TV. So next week will be a good week. But let's talk about the state of football. And here's the reason why I bring this up. We're going to talk a little NFL, but we're a Pee Wee football show. But whatever happens up here at the top, for those of y'all that aren't watching, I've got my hand raised high, translates down to the bottom.
Right.
it might take a year to get there. It could take 6 months to get there. It could take 6 weeks to get there. But whatever happens, it translates down. And you were seeing, I mean, the awful Tua concussion and getting hurt, right? And then who was it for the Jets? Or no, the Colts. Was it Naheem Hines? That, you know, I didn't even see him hit his head, but you know, I don't know if it's just the jarring of being thrown out. And that I've heard people say, I mean, you got grown men that size hitting each other. I mean, and you two guys, pretty big guys. I can only imagine what it'd be like, you know, right? Going,
coming at you,
you know, going 25 miles an hour and just like I get it. But you know, he stands up and he can barely walk. And I know we've had some, thank God, I don't believe we've had a lot of bad injuries in the league. I know that apparently there was a potential injury or a concussion to a Granberry player last week is kind of what I heard through the grapevine.
That was our guy. And shout out to Coach Rice. Just letting Granberry know we do not teach that. And I saw the hit, and it was a late hit, and I admit that. But that kid, he's actually a good kid. He was crying on the sideline, telling his coaches he didn't mean to do that. So, I mean, that was awful. But hopefully that kid is okay. And just a shout out to Granberry. I'm just letting you know that kid, he's not a dirty player. He's a good kid.
I appreciate you clearing that up. I didn't even know that happened at y'all's place, right? I just know that, you know, and then I think I want to say I seen Steve a couple weeks ago post something about, you know, information because there was an injury. And so where do you guys, because you have that side, but then you have the side that's happening right now that you hear on Sports Talk Radio, where we all seen what happened. You know, a tackle gets made on a quarterback, and I've seen Kevin Hart. I love Kevin Hart. He did. I don't remember what late night show, or no, it was a Sports Talk show. He was telling them like, okay, let me show you how it's supposed to be done. And he gets tackled. He's like, no, pick me up softly. And then they put a pillow on the ground and they laid him on the pillow. And he's like, give me my blanket. They covered him in a blanket, right? And it's
what it's going
right. But it's kind of like, okay, you see this extreme over here, but and then you've got, and you know, we have to bring this up. We've talked about it. You got the fights happening with parents, and you've got the unfortunate, tragic thing that happened with a couple of coaches and on the field altercations. Is football in a good state right now?
I mean, personally, I would say yes, but it depends on the leadership that you have running that organization.
Yeah,
because if you have, you know, the right leadership, and you know, you already have that talk with the parents at the beginning of the season, they already know what you're expecting out of them. That way they can tell you what they're expecting out of you.
Right.
Now, are we going to always get it right?
Sure.
Yeah.
But we're going to try.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Leadership means, you know, everything. And obviously for every action, there's a reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, that's life in general, right? You know, and I sometimes wonder about football. You know, we were even talking about the way they're teaching kids to tackle now. You know, we were all growing up, it was across the bow, and man, it was just obliterate somebody. And you know, I remember like with the 12U team we got with, and I think our boys tackle really well. I think anybody that plays us would tell you that they do, but you know, it's kind of switched to that rugby style,
style
right,
football,
Coach? We were talking about that it's switched to that. And I know we were given a video of our coaches here that all the junior high coaches here locally in town, they wanted the kids to tackle, and it was the Seattle Seahawks tackling drill. And I know for me, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
all that hawk roll tackle.
I was like, okay, I get it, I guess. And that's what you're going to be teaching them in junior high. And I know some coaches do it, some don't, right? I mean, that's the way it is. But, you know, I think the state of football, as fun as it is, it's changing.
Yeah,
right
it is. It's changing. And just by the way, I go to coaches clinics and I watch a lot of stuff online. And football style is changing. But my opinion, and I'm gonna tell you coaches right now, Northwest Texas Board, I will be there in February, and I'm gonna try to change some rules up. It's a long season, man. There ain't no way that we should be playing all these games. So I mean, kids get hurt, kids get tired, parents get tired. I don't know if that's my organization or what, but it's a long season, man. And you got a lot of kids that quit, don't want to do it no more. And I just think they just burnt out on it. Just burnt out on it, and it's just too long.
Well, let's, you know, after the whistle, is always about transparency. So I appreciate that, right?
Yeah.
And we got playoff talk, but you know what? We got a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that, and I don't know that you're right, but I don't know you're wrong. What I have seen is for people. It's funny. We actually just had this conversation in the office because I've got some friends that their kids are playing junior high football. Our teams that go to the playoffs will play more football games than junior high football players.
Exactly.
But at the same token, it's like, okay, well, if you restrict it down to like 5 or 6 games, and I'm not asking you to tell what you're going to come up with. We'll save that for the meeting, right? But if you restrict it down, well, then you're only getting 5 games, and for what these parents are paying. I mean, look, right now a gallon of milk is like tripled in price, and everything's going up. So you've got the cost factored away for the parents, and then you want your kids getting taught. But then at the same token, you've got junior high, and then also our quarters. I think junior high only plays 8-minute quarters.
Yep.
And I think most of our age groups are at 10 besides the lower ones. But at the same token, you look at a team that's got 35 people or 34 people, you need that 10-minute quarters.
Yeah, you do.
So, I mean, the league definitely, I will definitely be having my pen and paper at that meeting for the radio show. I'm interested to see what parents think about that, right? I mean, this is y'all's show.
Yeah.
We got a lot of comments. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to ignore them. We just got a lot of topics, and I'll go through here. Cody keeps telling me we'll be in the bed. Cody, I can't wait to see. I'm going to give you a big hug right on camera when you get in the building. I can't wait to see you. Brandon says, how about the 9U Royals? Watch out for 10U Barber Royals. Shout out to the 9U football players and cheerleaders. I don't know about that. More football, the better, Cody says, and you got a lot on that side, right?
That's the coach's ego talking. You got to pay attention to the parents, bro. Your kids quitting on you, bro.
Well, and then it's funny because I don't know if this is a parent, but Bree comes right back and says, "Not always." So this is a good topic, parents. Let us hear from you because the board listens to this show, and I'm not saying they make decisions based off of this show, but we have all the towns in. I'm interested to see what the parents think. Is the season too long? Are the games too long? As far as quarters and stuff goes and things of that nature. I'm interested in that. I'll reserve my opinion. Maybe that could be a closing show that we have going into next year. But that's a good thing to bring up. And you know what I like about it, before anybody gets mad at Coach here for bringing that up, that's his job to look out after the kids. Right. That's why you guys are in the position that you are, is because, to bring suggestions like that, if that's what's best for the kids.
Right.
And then let all the people get in there and, let it vote and be decided upon.
Right.
That's the good thing about having the board. That is the good way this board is set up and going from there.
Yeah.
But good stuff. All right. I'm going to hit my mic slocks real quick from last week. Going through there. So 5U, I missed already. You gave a huge shout out to Garrick and 5U that won 27-24. I don't call that an upset, but they won. Kennedale, they got that one right. 6U, they take the win. RYA upset Ferris, missed that one. Midlow Martinet, they won 14-8, and what I was told was a pretty good little game out there.
Oh, okay.
We had a 9U game of the Elks and Saginaw. I got that one right, but that one was close, 16-6. 10U, love you guys, Red Oak, but I knew that one was coming, 30-0.
Oh yeah.
The game that shocked me the most. See, I always feel like I'm talking to RYA, but they're always and I'm gonna give the shout out to them. So I picked RYA to lose 12U to the Burleson Raider Hernandez team. I like that Raiders team. They were a good team. That game was 24-22. I didn't get to see it. I don't know how it ended, but I've talked to a lot of people on the Raiders, and they were like, man, RYA came ready, and their coaches, I'm not sure who coaches that team, did a great job, had their kids ready, and they exploited some stuff. I hate to use the word exploit, but they took advantage of some stuff on the Raiders.
Oh yeah.
And that game was a lot closer than I personally expected. Dylan says 9U was 12-6. My bad, Dylan. They had it at 18 on there. And we got a lot of comments coming about the game stuff, so I'm going to try to hit some of these as we get in here. So it's a good topic. So, but ultimately last week I had 2 losses, but I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wins.
Oh
so,
man, you
I
the
mean,
best, bro.
You know,
What's the lottery numbers this week?
like I'm saying, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and give out my locks
Yeah.
here in a few, and y'all just go ahead and bet whatever you want to bet. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. Go donate to the All-Star game, which we're gonna talk about more next week. I'm actually gonna bring in the item that I'm gonna give away for people that are donating the All-Star week. Okay. Trust me, you guys are gonna want to see the item on that we're bringing in. All right, let me try to hit some of these comments, and then we're gonna talk about some playoff standings here. We've got a lot on here. James Crago says 10U RYA versus Granberry is going to be a good one. I totally agree about that. Yeah. And then Cody says, replying to Bree, I know I was just kidding. At the same time, parents want games. If we give them 5 to 6 games a season, I think they want it to be cheaper than want more games. And that's what I was saying earlier, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You've got people on here that parents are paying their good hard-earned money for football. Mm-hmm. And then Amy says, don't feel like less games are better with all the time and money put into it. I truly feel 7 to 8 games is great. We have more baseball games than we do have football. It's hard to compare baseball to football because of physicality, and depends on the age group, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I can tell you right now, our kids on 12U, and I'm sure probably any age level from 3rd grade and up. My son's bruised up, banged up. It's every week. Yeah. Amber says, I'm okay with less games, more focus on fundamentals, practices, and scrimmages. So you got a good little mix here that's kind of going back and forth. Yeah. And then Holly says she thinks it's fine because she feels, and I think this is a good point. Mm-hmm. That kids hold back in the beginning and they start to get to shine towards the ends. I don't think kids hold back. I think they get comfortable. Yeah, they get comfortable. Right. We have a kid on our team. His name is Miles. He's the largest kid on our team. He's bigger than I am. Mm-hmm. And when the season started, honestly, I don't know that I would put him in a powder puff game. There you go. Okay. Yeah. But he is turning it on right now. Yeah. He's coming into, okay, it stings, but this doesn't hurt. Yeah. These pads protect me, right? Uh-huh. And you guys have been coaching a while, but I noticed that it takes the kids a couple. That's why I always tell parents, if your kids are going to play in junior high, don't wait until 6th grade to start. Right. Yeah, don't do that. It's too late. It's too late. Because they're going to get out there and they're going to get hit hard one time, and they're going to go, something I want to do. I tell this brief story about my best friend. So we were playing football growing up, and he didn't start to junior high. He's a real tall guy, good hands, good athlete. And we walked out on the football field, and in junior high, he did okay, but we walked out as freshmen on the football field, and he took one hit. Yeah. Helmet off. That's it. He said, Coach, I'm done. That's it. And I've been playing all my life, and I've been hit like that before. And, you start getting hit like that at an early age level. It's like, okay, man, this stinks. I've been decleated before. I turn around and wham. I mean, I've had it happen, right? But when it happens the first time, and it's somebody that's a couple of years older than you. Oh, yeah. Woo. Yeah, I mean, only Michael Strahan. Did Michael Strahan wait till his senior year to play football? Yeah, or was he's junior? A freak. Yeah, it's only one of those. It's only one. And I guess if everybody was built like Michael Strahan, they could wait to that time too. But most of us don't have that God-given on there. We got Trevor Elks 9U versus Saginaw 12-6. Yeah, I corrected that. My bad. Darren. Granger said, Mike, you should come out and watch the Waxahachie 6U versus Kennedale 6U. That is on one of my games. I'll tell you about that pick here in just a few. Tell them we don't do no flag games, baby. We don't talk games, man. Waxahachie Granger, you know what I'm talking about. You get called out, Waxahachie Granger. That's right. Listen, that Waxahachie Granger team though on 6U, they have given up 0 points in flag. Yeah, that's flag. I want to see what he does when he put on helmets because I got number 7 for Red Oak. He coming after you, baby. Okay. We already. It's getting kind of thick. I'm glad they turned the air on. It's Waxahachie now. I mean, Midlothian and Waxahachie is. Red Oak don't come close to those rivalry games. I heard the show last week with Waxahachie and Midlothian. It was Midlothian. Oh, Ricky right? Just jumped on too. He just jumped online. He said Midlothian is late but on, just like last week. They showed up late to the show. Oh, Rick. Ricky says they have a stacked 5U team. Jeremy says 10 games are fine as a parent with 2 kids. We need better scheduling, maybe 2 bye weeks to ensure most teams from one association play each other. You guys, we kind of talked about that, but in defense of the league, guys, this league had several teams join here toward the end. I think they did a pretty decent job with the scheduling being several new organizations. We're talking probably I don't know, Jen can correct me, 500 players, maybe even 700 more players joined. So, and they joined late in the game. So I think scheduling will look a little bit different going into next year. And then Darren says, LBJ, we coming in hot. Phelps says Midlow 12U was late 2 weeks ago too. Ricky.
My God, Ricky, what are you doing, man?
Ricky, what are you doing? All right, guys. So we're about to come into the break, and I told you guys before the show started, it's going to kind of spin in a bunch of different directions. And all these notes I have, I mean, they've just kind of gone out the window. But that's okay. We brought up some good stuff. So when we get back from the break, I'm going to hit my Mike's locks, and then I'm going to talk about playoff standings, right? And obviously, Ricky says mute Phelp. Man, I would have loved to just kind of see Ricky back in the 80s, right?
Oh, I saw a front picture of him, man.
I picture the mullet and
no, he's bald headed.
He was bald headed still in a Thunderbird.
That's him. That's Rick.
I love you, Ricky. Ricky's my guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
Him and Kerry, I like them a lot. Yeah. When we get back, we're going to go through some playoff talk. You guys have been in the playoffs here in Northwest. I want to know, let's let our parents know what to expect, the intensity in the games. We are going to talk flag. I know, Coach, you don't want to talk flag, but we're
we make it too competitive.
Ricky says he had all of that. Yeah. Hey, look, but flags where it all starts.
It all starts right there.
We got to have flags. So we get back from break. We're going to hit a little bit of playoff talk. This after the whistle. We'll be right back.
At Romika Designs, we're more than just a laser engraving and specialty design company. Much more. I'm Ron Phillips, co-owner of Romika Designs, and if you can dream it, we can probably make it. We can custom laser cut and engrave on nearly all material. Great for one-of-a-kind gifts, home decor, business and specialty items, or personalized and logo designs created just for you or your company. Allow us to become your go-to gift and specialty project partner. Romika Designs can help make your ideas a reality. We're ready to help you design and create that special gift for any occasion or engrave your personal or business logo on just about any product. View our designs at romikadesigns.com or simply email us with your ideas. We specialize in custom design and we'd be honored to have the opportunity to discuss it with you. Call us at 817-400-4040, email info@romikadesigns.com, or visit us on the web at romikadesigns.com.
Hey, there's something you forgot to do. It sure is hot. Are you sweating like a dog? Wait, what? Dogs don't sweat. Oh no, you forgot to get your window tinted. Whether it's the kitchen window that sits in the sun for the hottest part of the day, or you just got new wheels, call Sharp Window Tinting in Burleson. 817-615-9379, or look them up on the web, sharpwindowtint.com.
Fast Track Student Loans can get your student loans out of default, stop any wage garnishments, stop collection calls, and stop seizure of your tax refund. Give yourself a break. Stop the stress and get your student loan payments down to as little as $25 a month based on what you can afford to pay. 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395, 800-709-4395.
You're listening to Joco Community Radio.
All right. I'm back. I lost all of my co-host people. I told them it was a quick break. I don't think they believe me. That's all right. Let me get through this and they'll jump in here. Joco Community Radio is proud to be the voice of Johnson County, Texas, and on the live 24/7 TuneIn Radio Network. Tune into joco.com. It's a place to find all the ways to listen and watch. The station app is also available for free on Android and Apple devices. Just search Joco Radio in your store. Check out the lineup and more. This episode and more is brought to you by Patriot Claims, making your insurance work for you. Reach out to your Texas sales rep at 844-TEX-TAIL. That's 844-839-4245. And also is brought to you by Versus Uniforms. any type of uniform, football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, reach out at 817-308-6064, or you can visit us at vssportswear.com and can get all of your uniform needs in from there. So, gentlemen, I told you guys that was a quick break, so it's always super fast. Everybody gets to there. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to go through and I'm going to kind of review the playoffs. Now, for all you parents on here, first off, thank you guys for being so interactive today. Keep it coming. I kind of want to hear your thoughts about the playoffs and the predictions. This is the way they stand as of now, and I did it based off of what they told me of how to do it. So if it's not 100% accurate, it's probably like 97% close. So somebody's going to get on here in a second and say, no, that's not right. I apologize. I didn't go look at all the head-to-heads. I pulled it off the site. But so everybody knows. Now, I know every age group has different American and national stuff, but really none of that matters. Okay. So all the parents know the way the playoffs work, it is the top 8 teams in the entire conference. Okay. So what that means is you could be number 1 in your division at 0-5 and not make the playoffs if the other division has 8 teams that are better than you, just so everybody knows. So I want to make sure folks know that, because I've had several people that have asked me and messaged me how's the playoff work. So I'm going to review as of today where the division standing set as of today. Now, this is all going to shake up and change next week, but it's pretty interesting how tight it is. With the number of teams that have joined the organization, there is not a lot of room for error for folks to make the playoffs. There's also, from what I understand, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, there's not a bye week. So 1 plays 8, 2 plays 7, 3 plays 6, 4 plays 5. Okay, so check this out. We're going to start in 5U. Right now, first place, and the way, for all you parents on there that want to know, the way if 2 teams are tied with the same record, like undefeated 6-0, 7-0 right now or whatever, they go off of points allowed. So the person with the lowest points allows you to get in the playoffs. Now there's a couple other things that happen. So there's some teams that play 9 games, some teams that play 8. The team that plays 9 gets to throw out their lowest game. We're not going to cover all that today, but that will be for future shows. Right now, I just want to give people a baseline. And then we're going to get into the picks, and hopefully we get all that done in 23 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to hear from you, parents. Okay, 5U, Saginaw Dusky, first place at 6-0. Trailing them, Waxahachie Cooper at 6-0. The reason why, Dusky has 24 points against, Cooper has 66. Follow them as Kennedale, then BYA, then Midlow Garrick, RYA, Ferris, and Burleson Cooper. In the hunt is Red Oak Mills and Midlothian. Those 2 teams are at 2 and 4. As of right now, man, that 4 and 5 matchup is 4 and 2 teams.
Oh yeah,
that are pretty dead even.
Yeah, that's even.
That's a swing game.
Yep. Sure
that is one of those swing games. Ricky's already saying Waxahachie. He ain't even in the studio. He's like, every week. All right, 6U, leading the pack. And I told you guys we're going to talk about that 6U Waxahachie team to come on out. I understand inviting me to the game. I don't know anybody's going to score on this Waxahachie team.
No, nobody's scoring on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I like to see a competitive game. No offense to who you're playing. But we got Waxahachie in first at 6-0, 0 points allowed. And then we have Kennedale at 5-1, Burleson Johnson at 5-1, Ferris King at 5-1, Red Oak Young at 4-2, RYA Babin at 4-2, at Granberry at 3-2, and then Red Oak again at 3-2. And in the hunt is SYA Clark and Burleson Sampson. Once again, those bottom 2 spots are interchangeable with 1 week.
Exactly. Yep.
1 week. 1 week. Morgan says Granger's 6U's Waxahachie number 2's biggest fan. Awesome. Let's go. Shout out to our RO6U Maroon. Say SYA 5U Dusky Cowboys. Let's go. Yeah. I just talked about those guys, Amy. They're just absolutely killing it out there. That 6U, the bottom's going to be competitive. I've said this to people before. This is and no offense to all you parents in 6U, thank you for your time, but go ahead and wrap this up unless something weird happens. Waxahachie's winning this thing.
They taking it.
They're just
that good. I got respect for Granger. He's one of the bros. So
good team. Now, any given Saturday,
right?
Any given Saturday.
Can happen,
so that's why we play the game, right? That's that's why they show up. Jumping over to 7U, we got the Burleson Oak Dixon team at 6-0. We got SYA, the Baker team, at 5-1. RYA 5-1. Ferris 5-1. Then we have Waxahachie 4-2. Then we have the Burleson Ross team at 3-3. We have Kennedale at 3-3. Coming in the bottom is Midlow. We have several other teams at 1-5.
Yeah, that's one of my teams.
You know,
teams,
I mean, technically they're in the playoff hunt for that 8 seed. I don't know they want anything to do with Dixon in the first round. That's a really good team. Here's the thing about this. I've seen a lot of 7U games this year just because of working the field and seeing them coming through. That's a tough division.
Yeah, that is.
That's a tough division. And while I love Dixon's team, that's my guy.
Yeah,
I think they're the odds-on favorite to win it. But it wouldn't shock me if someone surprised them in a championship game.
Yeah.
Now, here's what I can say about Coach Dixon. His team's always ready.
Yeah.
Okay. That guy, he's intense.
Yeah.
We love having him part of the organization.
Yeah.
And his boys are going to be ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think a surprise will happen, but I mean, if you guys just look at those top 4 teams, 6-0, 5-1, 5-1, 5-1.
I mean,
My word.
Ferris is a scary one too. You gotta watch out for them.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're crazy. John says RYA have something to say about that. I mean, hey, they're 5-1. They've only given up 38 points.
All
right. I can't say that RYA is not a good team, and
they're pretty good.
Those top 4 teams, and this isn't taking anything from Waxahachie or Burleson Ross or Kennedale or Midlow, but those top 4 teams, you kind of just feeling that that separation. See, Phelps says Ferris is a sleeper. I don't think they're a sleeper. Ferris is a good team.
Ferris is going to be in there, man.
They're going to be in it.
Don't sleep on them.
SYA Baker, you know, coming
Baker.
out. They're going to be in it. At the end of the day, I think those are your 4 teams that are playing in each one of the championships, and they're deciding where to go from there. All right, moving on to 8U. We got SYA.
Oh yeah, they going
6-0.
They going undefeated. Nobody's beating them.
No,
I 3 years in a row. The Garrett's team is top of the line. Nobody's beating them. Good luck. I will say this, Eric. Y'all got a shot.
Okay. That was an official endorsement. He can't take back. It's live. But we got RYA though at 5-1. We've got Kennedale Bass at 5-1. We've got Midlow at 4-1. We have Ennis at 4-2. We have the Burleson Oaks Whitehead team. That's a good little team.
Good. Yeah,
okay.
Whitehead's good.
Don't sleep on that group. I'm telling you. Then we have Raiders at 2-3 and Red Oak at 2-3.
Yeah.
I said this about that Raiders team that's 2-3. They play a stingy defense.
They do.
If that offense ever clicks, they're gonna cause problems for someone. I can tell you this: I would not want to be RYA playing them as a 2 versus 7.
Oh man,
that's not a game I want.
I don't know. And I mean, Doug got those boys playing pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we see them Saturday, so it's going to be a good game.
They had. I mean, I watched them play that Elks team, and honestly, they controlled that game. They I hate to use the word shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? But I mean, if you look at it, you go, man, they kind of had that game.
Right.
You know what I mean? For the most part, they controlled that game.
Yeah.
So that team is better than that record showing, I believe, and I've said this about them. That's not a team. If I'm the number 1 or number 2 seed, I want any part of in the 7 seed. I want no part of that group. You know, because that could run a very good season really quick. But that's why I love the playoffs, baby.
Playoffs, baby.
I love the playoffs. And here we go. So we got Don't Sleep on Kennedale. I haven't slept on anybody yet, have I? Okay. We got Go Big Blue, Midlothian all the way. I'll give you one guess who that comment came
That was
from.
Ricky. Ricky, get off the show.
Javier says, let's go SYA Frogs. Cody says, but we did just last Saturday, and they got 3 turnovers right off the bat and still got them. So, I mean, you know what I mean? That defense is good. I'm telling you, it's if that offense and I think Doug by playoff time will get it fixed.
Yeah, Doug will get it fixed. He's kind of doing that struggling thing like I am with the new kids and stuff, but I think he'll get it ready. Coming up.
Misty Young says challenge accepted. Burleson 8U Red Oak Football Association. I'm not sure what we got that challenge on, but I like it.
Yeah.
And Holly Smith says we are coming for the Frogs. So I mean, I love it. Getting competitive. All right, let's move to 9U. Moving through here. What a division 9U is.
9U's tough, man. 9U's tough.
Tell me, Coach.
Ooh, we got some work to do, We got some work.
Coach is going to go down to flag next year.
I mean, yeah, he don't want to be
over.
demoted. He want to get up.
I'm not sure what just happened to our screen here. So if you guys are listening, a little technical deal. Okay, we're back on right now. Well, I thought we're back on, so may have just went out for a second. We got Jeremy Smith says, "Don't count out Coach P and 9U." Feed number 24.
We got it.
So here's what we got. We got the Burleson Elks at 6-0. That's the Barrett team.
Yep.
We got Waxahachie Langford 5-0. Listen,
Langford, man.
Waxahachie. It's time we talk about them for a second.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
Langford he's top of the line, man. He coached those boys up, man, and he actually, Langford is what is Langford supposed to be? Is he 10U?
He's 10U.
Yeah, Langford is 10U.
And we'll go to 10U next. Well, it's my bad. I got a little head. Thanks for calling that. Okay. For 9U, Midlow Robinson 6-0. The Elks 6-0.
Man,
Kennedale 5-1.
they pretty good.
We gave them a good run.
Gave them a good run. Okay. Waxahachie 5-2.
There you go.
RYA 3-3.
Yeah.
Granberry 3-3. And then we have the other Burleson, I think it's Carpenter team 2-4.
Oh, okay.
Here's what I'll tell you about 9U. I think there are only 2 teams in 9U, and that's the Elks and Midlow Robinson, and they play next week.
Oh my!
Not
goodness.
this week, but next week.
Yes,
that's going to tell a lot.
Yep.
And that is nothing against Kennedale and Waxahachie and SYA. Danny says no SYA. I've mentioned SYA. You guys right now are in the 5th seed of the playoffs right now. I just don't. No, I didn't skip over 9U Saginaw 4-2. I got you, Danny. I got you. I got you. I mean, guys, I just don't see anybody beat Midlow Robinson or the Elks.
They pretty good. Yeah,
they're a good team.
Yep, they good.
I mean, it's your division, Coach.
I know. Hey, but every dog has his day.
Yeah.
Hey, we might just catch them on their bad day.
Are y'all? Who do y'all play this week?
We got Burleson
here in Burleson.
Yeah. I think all our Red Oak teams go to Burleson. Most of them. So we'll all be out there.
Coach, they might hang 30 on you.
Say we're gonna try to stop that.
Yeah.
Say we held Kennedale to 12 points to the last few minutes of the 4th quarter.
Kennedale ain't Burleson.
But they still was a 4-1 team.
Yeah, they were. And you're right. I feel that same way. We have we'll get to 12 you say, and they're telling me I missed. Let me just rerun down 9U to make sure I got it. Yeah. Midlow Robinson 6-0, the Elks 6-0, Kennedale 5-1, Waxahachie 5-2, SYA 4-2, RYA 3-3, Granberry 3-3, and the Burleson Raiders 2-4. I mean, guys, there's going to be some good matchups, but I really believe those top 2 teams and maybe top 4 teams. At the end of the day, they're going to be standing.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see like the last age group a huge shift in the win coming.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to 10U. We got the Elk Barrett team 6-0. I already talked about Waxahachie Langford.
Yep.
And we got to give Langford credit. They have only given up 8 points all year.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've looked at their competition, but they've only given up 8 points, and that's 10U tackle football.
Right.
Hats off to them.
Yeah, that's good.
You can't say nothing about that.
Nope,
Lake Worth 5-1. Their only losses to right now the highest seed Burleson Oaks, and that game was within a touchdown, right? I mean, within a few points. I mean, that was a tight game. RYA 4-1, Granberry 4-2, SYA 3-2, other SYA 3-3, and then Red Oak is at 3-3.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still, and I've said it since the beginning, I think this is the Elks division to win.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like that, but I can't wait to see them and Waxahachie go at it.
That's gonna be good, man. Langford,
I can't
that's
wait.
Gonna be great. Yeah.
That's gonna be a game. But I just I just can't wait. I mean, and I'm not counting out Lake Worth. I know they're a good team, right?
They're good.
And nothing against RYA and Granberry, but like the Elks just beat Granberry by a couple touchdowns. I mean, I feel like that group below 1, 2, and 3. I think those games in the playoffs they could lose by 30 on each game. And just my opinion, that's why the door stays locked. Y'all want to know? Because we got Rich saying Lake Worth coming around too. Just wait, the Longhorns are coming back. Dylan says he's facing the Raiders. Okay, so you're not facing the Elks this week, I guess is what he said.
Oh, yeah,
you got the Raiders this week. I think this is a 3-team race, and really it might be a 2-team race. But I'm going to stick with the Elks. I've been on them since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But those 3 teams, that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah, it's gonna be
I
great.
feel sorry for which one of those 2 teams have to play the other to get into the Super Bowl.
Yeah, man.
Because that's just that's just going to be tough,
Yeah.
right? That's going to be tough.
Mhm.
I mean, that's just a good group. All right,
Yep.
moving on to 12U. So as of right now, where the standings are, we have Kennedale's in first place, and Granberry Rice, and the Raiders are in first place or second place, followed by Granberry Rice. Now,
Yeah.
Granberry Rice has given up 0 points.
Right. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, if they keep on that streak, they will jump into first place. So what I did with this, I put the standings on where they're at based off of, kind of how they should be, because Granberry just has that bye week in there.
Right.
So it would be Granberry, Kennedale, and the Raiders, 1, 2, and 3, all of which are at 6-0.
Wow.
Okay. You
Yeah.
talk about a stacked group in the division, and
yeah.
I play in the division that has Granberry, has Kennedale. Next is Saginaw Barnes at 5-1.
yeah, Barnes,
won the
yeah.
Super Bowl last year in this
but-
age group. RYA at 4-2,
Mhm.
LYSA at 4-2, my team at 3-2, and the Raiders, other team at 3-2. Out of all the divisions, this is by far the most
That's
competitive in this league.
Yeah, that's competitive.
Yeah,
Okay.
you sure know what you're doing about it.
It's super competitive, and the reality of it is that we're seeing teams like we're gearing up. We played the undefeated Granberry team this week,
Oh yeah.
and I think we're going to win. That's
Yeah.
just me.
Hey,
Now
man,
people are going to tell me I'm
yeah.
wrong.
Hey.
That's a great team.
That's a wonderful team, man.
But I've been
Rice,
playing.
man.
I've been playing that team for years,
that's right.
and
That's
so I'm ready for them. Right,
Yeah.
our boys are ready for them.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen, but to your point, every dog has his day.
Got a day, baby.
And we are coming to the back porch hungry on Saturday, right? And
There
I'm
you go,
sure
man.
they are too. And it's going to be a fun game to
It's gonna
see.
be good, yeah.
But this division here, guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, like when the playoffs starts, you got to get out to these 10 and 12U games.
Oh yeah, man.
I mean, I've said it before. Some of these 12U teams I'll put up against junior high
Oh
teams.
man. Yeah, sure will, man.
They're good and good coaching, stuff like that.
Mhm.
All right, so we got through in there. Javier says Burleson not better than the Pioneers. They haven't played Granberry. Javier, yes, I have not played Granberry this year, but I've played them in years in the past,
Right.
and I'm of course always going to say my team is better. I'm
Exactly.
never going to pick
Yeah,
against
yeah.
my
Yeah.
team,
You
but
gotta stay confident with your team.
but that Granberry team is solid.
They solid, baby.
You don't go in 12U football and don't give up a score
No.
and not be solid.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yep.
that
Yeah.
you're a solid team.
Yep.
Okay, I got through it. I got 8 minutes to get through the
Good,
books. Whew,
man. That
okay.
was great.
I'm trying to fly through there. Chris says 12U RYO and last year. Get it right, Mike. Chris, 12U RYA is no longer playing because they won 12U last year. So 10U won for this year's 12U division. So,
Right.
but thank you for helping us
They
co-host
did
today.
win. They did. Win. I was
They
out
did
there.
win.
I was out there.
They
won.
definitely won, but they didn't win 10U.
They didn't win
10U is now 12U this year.
Exactly.
So if I
Yeah.
didn't clarify that. And then Jared says SYE 12U had a lot of injuries when we lost, and that is true. I know that Saginaw Barnes teams, when they played that Granberry team, which is Ben Granberry's only test based off of the schedule outside of what they're about to get with Burleson, they did not have a lot of their players.
A lot of players injuries.
And I'll tell you, that Barnes team is scary. They're
Yeah.
going to give people trouble.
Yeah, Barnes is.
They're
yeah.
going to give people trouble.
will, yeah.
I feel very confident in that. That's a team like, in the 12U, if I'm in anywhere in this 12U bracket and we're probably going to be really close to it, but that Barnes team's number 4. If I'm RYA or LYSA or even, that's not a game I want.
No,
I don't want that game first round.
No, I don't want to see no Saginaw team
Yep.
in the first round.
You don't want that in the first round.
Yeah, no.
And if you are sitting at the top of the list, like a Granberry or Raiders or Kennedale, you definitely don't want to see them round 2.
No. There's going to be a lot of crying.
That's why 12U is going to be a lot of fun.
So, yeah, I'll tell you.
Come the playoff times.
Yep.
All right. I know you guys are all waiting for it. Okay. Go ahead and get your checkbooks out. Go ahead and call your bookie. We're going to go over the locks this week for you guys. We got some good games. And I want you to keep in mind these games based off of what we talked about standings. And a lot of the games that I picked has a lot to do with the way the standings. So I'm going to go through it kind of quickly. We've got 6-0 Dusky versus Midlow Garrick, who's 4-2. Won't go over points for and stuff just because of the sake of time right now. Saginaw wins this game 32-20. And I don't even know that Dusky scores 20 this game might be over by halftime. We got Kennedale Kelly versus Waxahachie Granger. Until proven otherwise.
Yeah, Kelly, I'm sorry, brother.
Granger's winning 30-0.
I need Kelly to lose that game. Anyway.
Yeah. Until proven otherwise.
Yeah, Granger, ain't nobody beating Granger.
Yeah, they're winning 30-0. 7U, we've got Saginaw versus Ferris. 2 5-1 teams. Okay, this is going to be a good one in 7U, right? And when we kind of go through our standings here, going back through our notes in 7U, this is going to shake things up, right? You got Ferris at 5-1 and Saginaw at 5-1, and the only difference is points scored. If Ferris wins this game, they jump up to the number 2 seed, which is where you want to be.
Right.
Unfortunately, they're not winning this game. I got Saginaw 26-16.
Sorry about that, Ferris.
I got Saginaw 26-16. Ricky says there's some great teams that are not even in the running. I love the competition in the league, and that's true.
It is.
They're really good teams all the way through there. Going from there. Okay, so moving right along to 8U, we've got Kennedale versus Vagari.
Oh no, sorry, Kennedale, you just lost, buddy. You ain't nobody beat Vagari's team.
So once again, Kennedale is sitting in the 3rd seed at only 28 points given up, and Vagari's in the 1st seed, only 12 given up. Kennedale wins this game, and it would immediately vault them to number 1. Unfortunately, you're right.
They're not going to beat Vagari's team. Sorry.
We're going to go ahead and have Vagari just stay at top of the division right now.
Yeah.
I've got that one 24-12.
You 24-12. I got that 36-0.
Okay. See, Kennedale, don't hate me.
Mercy
listen to
mercy
Coach
rule.
here. Coach
Mercy
is saying
rule.
mercy roll.
It's going to be a mercy rule.
Gris says Kennedale 8U over Saginaw. Hey, you've got it on there so people can come back.
Bet me, bro.
All right. It's on there. Gris says 14-6 Kennedale. It's on there, Gris. You can't take it back now. All right, here we go. We're moving over to 9U. We got Midlow Robinson versus RYA. It's kind of the best game on the slate for 9U.
Right.
For RYA, the reality of it is that they're in the 6th seed and they need this win, because if not, and Burleson wins, they drop all the way down to the 8th seed and they're in danger of getting out. Unfortunately, they will be dropping down to the 8th seed. That game will be 30-0. Scoreboard will be off by halftime.
There you go.
And as Gris says, he stands on it. Gris, I stand on that. Midlow Robinson for the win. 10U. I like this game of 10U. We got RYA Barber versus Granberry. Now, Granberry lost last week to Burleson, but this is a big thing for seedings because RYA right now is 4th and Granberry is in 5th. And a win by Granberry flops those two around.
Right.
Okay. The common knowledge would say that I should go ahead and pick RYA. And I know all my RYA parents on there are like, oh, come on, Mike. I know you're going to pick us this week. And you're right, I am.
There you go.
RYA is going to win 24-20.
Breathe easy, Eric.
Okay, you can breathe easy, Eric. No emails. Okay.
You'll be sending some here.
Now listen, Eric. If you let me, if you let me down on this one, I don't know I can pick you again.
Oh man, there you go. Eric.
I'm giving Eric the benefit of the doubt right now.
Yeah.
Dylan Clark says scoreboard will not be off at half for 9U. RYA is a tough team and a good defense. So, Dylan, I'll bet you a Coke. He'll be off by halftime. But you may be right. Dylan coaches in this division, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
There you go.
So I'm gonna go ahead and take that. All right, moving on to 12U. 2 minutes left. We're doing good.
Yeah.
Kennedale Wildcats 6-0 versus RYA Cates. This is why this game is really important. RYA has lost 2 in a row right now.
Oh,
okay, and they're in the hard part of their schedule.
Right. Yep.
They're in it. After this game, they got to bye, and then they got to come to us.
Oh, man.
Okay. Kennedale is a good team.
Yeah.
I've played that Kennedale team. When you're looking at the 12U division, Kennedale is leading the way. RYA needs a win. RYA's next 2 weeks can either keep them in that 5th seed or it could drop them all the way down to the 8th seed.
Man.
I think they make the playoffs. I think they're a good team.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is at the beginning of the week when I looked at this, I had Kennedale winning this game until RYA did what they did against the Burleson Raiders. So I'm changing my pick.
Dang. Man.
I'm going to give Kennedale their first loss in the upset. Eric better not let me down. Better not let me down.
What's the score?
I'm giving them the loss.
What we going with?
2016.
2016.
It's going to be close.
It's going to be a close game.
It's going to be close. But then we got a couple other things that matter in this group. Saginaw Barnes play Waxahachie. That's 5-1 versus 3-3. Why is that important? Because Waxahachie is barely on the outside looking in. That is the only team that could potentially make the playoffs. Unfortunately, Phelps, Waxahachie season for playoffs is coming to an end.
Yeah,
Barnes is going to go ahead and take care of business.
Barnes gonna take care of business.
And I think it kind of I don't think officially mathematically eliminates Waxahachie, but I think it does. And then we got the Elks versus Granberry Rice.
Man, dude. Oh man. Hey, Coach Rice got those boys playing.
I love me some Darren Rice.
I don't know, man. Rice he got those boys playing, man.
I love him. Eric says I get to keep hosting because I picked RYA. I got his endorsement stamped.
There you go.
I can't wait to have those guys in. Listen, it's important, this game, for us as the Elks.
Yeah.
My team knows it. I don't know it's as important for Rice.
Oh, okay.
16-14 Elks.
Man. 14. Oh, man.
16-14. I think this is going to be a very big defensive game.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to tell you, next week, the Elks are going to serve a statement in 12U.
Good luck.
I get it, Coach. I get it. That's what it's about. You guys were great today. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Appreciate it, buddy.
From Burleson to Venus and Grandview to Godley, this is the voice of Johnson County, Joco Community Radio.
Hey, travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight?